Yeah, we've had really good practices. Attitude's been great. Guys know how important this game against OU is for both teams. We're trying to get in the win column, and they're very similar to us. OU's lost a couple of close games to top 25 teams, and Iowa State, they lost at the buzzer, and then Texas by just I think 1 point. And so they're hungry like we are, and they're a very good basketball team. We have a lot of respect for them.
When you have a winning streak like that snaps, what's different about the practices leading up to the next game?
Well, I think anytime you suffer a loss, you get the attention of your players, and they're hungry, and they're in a position right now. We're continue to learn, but they're anxious to get back on the floor and hopefully get this feeling of losing out of our system and back on the winning track.
Coach, in the press conference, Pop mentioned about you guys playing a full 40. I guess, to you, what's that one key thing that's missing with this team to play a team?
Well, I think go back to consistency. You look at the end of the game against Kansas, we had 4 players on the floor that with very little experience from last year. We had 2 true freshmen and then a couple other guys in Bacho and JT that got very little playing time last year. And so it's still a young team that's learning. And what we got to take from the TCU game and the game against Kansas, we got to get 20 minutes first half, 20 minutes second half, put them together. And that consistency is something we're still looking at.
In the way that Pop's been playing from young yard has been really special. I guess the way we see a freshman step up on that Big 12 stage, does he remind you of anybody either in the pros or someone that you've coached along these years?
Oh, I've always told Pop that he reminds me a lot of Trey Young, getting the opportunity to scout Trey Young and to play against him at OU and then see some of the things that Pop can do. There's a lot of similarities.
Coach, is there any status update on Bacho, maybe the finger?
Well, unfortunately, that not to harp on that last game, but those last 10 seconds when on that no call was, Pop suffered a little bit of a head injury, so he's going to be a guy that we're going to be game time before we determine he can play, and then actually with Bacho the same way, he dislocated a finger, and so both of those guys may not play on our game tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach.
How are you preparing, for that not having, size that you usually have?
Yeah, we've had to make some adjustments. We won't be nearly as big, so we'll kind of what you call play play small ball more and just emphasize rebounding and. But still, same game plan. We've got to come out and be aggressive and then take care of the ball a little better and then rebound. We've got to do a much better job on the glass.
What's your relationship like with Porter? You guys both started around the same time.
Yeah, I don't know Porter real well. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a hard-nosed coach. His kids always improve as the year goes on, which I think is a mark of a good coach. And we know he'll have them ready. And we had a great battle. 3 times last year, we were fortunate enough to beat him in the Big 12 tournament.
Do you kind of just expect a lot of three-pointers considering the history that you guys saw in those last 2 games?
What's unique about Oklahoma is that they're one of the best field goal percentage teams in the conference and in three-point shooting. They don't shoot as many, but they're very efficient. They take great shots, and they're again one of the best teams as far as everybody's knowing their role and everybody does what they do best. They've got capable three-point shooters, but they're a team that's going to be deliberate on both ends of the floor. They've got a lot of discipline, and so they're a hard team to prepare for, but very well coached.
Coach, is there a new timetable for Fardaz's return?
No, sooner the better. We're just, he's making progress every day. It looks like he can play right now. He wants to play now, but we've got to be obviously cautious and make sure that foot is progressing, and it seems to be. So, could be 2 weeks, could be 4 weeks. Just not sure at this point.
Coach, you already mentioned Oklahoma, the way that they shoot the 3 ball. Is there anything defensively that stood out that they do on film that you noticed?
Well, they're going to run a lot of sets. They're not as much as just to push the ball down and take it off transition. So they'll run a lot of screens. So we've got to really communicate and make sure that we're finding their shooters. They've got the one player at Sheffield that's really, really good, and I think he's averaging 2 points a game, a transfer, and and we got to watch him because he could take the game over. But they also have a lot of veterans. They've got 5 or 6 guys back from last year and 4 starters, and very a very good basketball team just like us. They're still growing, but this is a team I expect to be in the top 4 at the end of the year.
Coach, you mentioned the young team that this is, and there's going to be bumps along the way. But you guys are able to stay in with some of the top competition. I mean, you mentioned it there in the press conference, number 3 team in the nation, and this young team is hanging thick and thin.
It's encouraging to see that our team not playing well individually at times and making some mistakes, that we're able to compete and find ways to stay in the game. And so that's encouraging for our coaching staff to see our guys that are so competitive, even though we're making mistakes. And it's a bright spot because we know we can get a lot better. We can get better at the rebounding. We're going to get better at those turnovers, and so we're excited to see how this team's going to be playing in another month.
I know it's nearly rhetorical at this point that every game is important, but how big is this game, making sure that you get a win now to get back into the Big 12?
Well, there's 4 teams right now that don't have a win, us and Baylor and West Virginia and OU. So, we're fighting to get back into the race, and we need to win. And we need a great crowd. And we need the Red Raider Nation to come out and really give us a lot of encouragement, and we need their enthusiasm. It'll be contagious on the floor with us. It always has been. This is a tough place to play, and we feel like we have the best home court advantage in the country.
That guy right behind you right there had a pretty big game against Kansas.
He did. Is he making any shots behind me? I hope he is. So, and the TCU game was not one of his better games, and it was great to see him come out and respond like he did and play so well. Had 25, 26 points, and led the team. And when he's playing well, we got a chance to win. So he's been playing great. Works out, as you see behind me. That's just Kevin O'Banner. He's in the gym all the time. So really appreciate his leadership.